Today we're going to be talking about the flamboyant and chaotic story of the trailblazing musician Rick James. Born James Ambrose Johnson Jr. in February 1948, Rick James grew up in a tough neighborhood in Buffalo. His father left the family when Rick was young, and his mother raised him while working as a dancer for Katherine Dunham and later as a numbers runner. Music was his refuge early on. He played drums in his Catholic school band and was heavily influenced by Motown, jazz, and funk. In the 1960s, James joined the U.S. Navy Reserve to avoid being drafted into Vietnam, but he quickly grew disillusioned. After repeatedly going AWOL, he fled to Toronto, Canada. There, under the alias Ricky James Matthews, he began building a music career. He joined a band called the Minor Birds, which notably included Neil Young. They were signed to Motown, but the deal fell apart when the U.S. military discovered James had gone AWOL. He was arrested and served time before returning to music. Rick James didn't truly break through until the late 1970s, when he returned to Motown with a new sound, a high-energy, punk-infused brand of funk he called punk funk. His 1978 debut album, Come Get It, featured hits like You and I and Mary Jane, which became staples of funk music. But it was his 1981 album, Street Songs, that made him a superstar. That record included Super Freak, his biggest hit, known for his funky bass line, which was later sampled in MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This. Other tracks include Give It To Me Baby and Fire and Desire. With his wild costumes, braided hair, and intense stage presence, James became known as the king of punk funk. Rick James's personal life, though, was notorious. He was known for heavy drug use, especially cocaine, wild parties, and a destructive lifestyle. By the late 1980s, his music career began to decline as his drug problems worsened. In the early 1990s, James was involved in several legal troubles, the most serious being convictions for assault and torture involving 2 women. He served over 2 years in prison starting in 1993. James attempted to come back in the late 1990s and early 2000s. He gained renewed popularity thanks to Dave Chappelle's Chappelle Show, which featured a now famous sketch where James is quoted saying, "I'm Rick James, bitch." James leaned into the renewed fame with humor, appearing on TV and doing interviews. Sadly, he died of heart failure in 2004 at the age of 56. A toxicology report found several drugs in his system, though none were at fatal levels. Rick James's legacy is very complicated. He helped bridge funk and pop, influencing artists from Prince to MC Hammer to Bruno Mars. His persona, a mix of rock star flamboyance, street swagger, and musical genius, paved the way for more genre-bending performers. He left behind hits that still resonate in pop culture, particularly through samples and funk revivals, though his legacy is often overshadowed by his tumultuous personal life.